What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate episode. Today's debate episode, we're going to be talking about Gamera versus Cloverfield. So here's the plan, folks. We're going to go over the backstories of these two giant creatures and basically analyze them. Once we're done analyzing them, we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. So without further ado, let's begin with Cloverfield. So Cloverfield is actually a giant sea creature that is awakened by the military and wreaks havoc on land. So, by the way, some people actually think Cloverfield is an alien, and that's actually not true. J.J. Abrams declined that theory, and he said that it's a terrestrial organism. So I just want to put that out there. Anyways, the height of Cloverfield is 91 meters. It's around 300 feet, but you convert it to meters, it's around 91 meters. Abilities, I'm going to do a quick skim. Long arms, physical attacks, and thick skin. Aggression level is high, territorial level is low, and biome is space. Now, going back to the abilities, he has long arms, including his legs too, but I just call it long arms. And basically, it's a very good defensive technique, and even an offensive technique. He can protect himself by shielding his body with those long arms. He can attack with them, but most importantly, this is more of a defensive technique. We're going to cover his more dangerous parts that are, vulnerable, including his face, right? So, that's that. But with the physical attacks, it also goes to he can run, he can smash into his opponents, he can bite into his opponents. He's very powerful, he's pretty thick-skinned as we go over that. And he has good physical attacks, but it's nothing special though. And that thick skin is just another defensive technique where it's pretty difficult to penetrate his skin, so he protects his organs pretty well. And so that basically, so that's basically it. We're not going to go over the parasites, just because that's really not going to affect Gamera. Cloverfield is a very mysterious creature. Very, very mysterious creature. We don't know too much about him, but what we do know is that this is him, and he doesn't have too many crazy abilities, but he has enough to definitely hurt some people, and including some creatures, maybe. Now, let's go over Gamera. So, Gamera is actually from a family of ancient giant tortoises who fed on fire. He protects the Earth from aliens and any other creatures, or even forces that threaten the Earth, and humanity as well, including. The abilities, quick skim, is shell hovering, fire breath, super strength, telepathy with humans. Now, Gamera has many incarnations. I didn't choose a specific Gamera, so I kind of combined all of them together, and I just chose the best abilities as general Gamera. That's what I'm doing today. Territorial level is maximum, aggression is maximum, biome is earth, height is 80 meters. Okay, now, let's go back to the abilities. Let's do a deep analysis. So shell hovering. Everyone knows what the shell hovering is. It's when he puts his arms into a shell and fire comes out and he starts flying. Now, not only can that help him evade attacks, he can actually use that as an offensive, not only a defensive technique. He could fly and ram into his opponents by using the shell hovering technique. He also has fire breath. He can shoot fireballs and plasma out of his mouth, which could do a lot of damage to his opponents. He does have super strength. He's very strong. Gamera is very, very strong. So when it comes to physical strength, he can tear stuff up. And then he has telepathy. He can use telepathy with humans. So if humans see a better plan than he has, he can actually read the minds via telepathy and do a different attack. Some people are actually bound to him, to connect with him, to talk to, and he can talk to those people via telepathy, obviously. Now, that's basically going to sum up both of these kaijus. Let's go to what we've all been waiting for, the death battle. So, we're going to go close range and far range. So why do I do this? Why do I do close and far range? Far range tests out the opponent's abilities at a limited capacity, so not all abilities can be used in far range. And we see at limited capacity, can they still successfully defend themselves and still win an attack? It's a great way of testing out the abilities of the opponents. And then close range is just all out war. Alright folks, let's do far range first, and these are the rules. they have to be 700 meters apart. They cannot come closer than 700 meters. Now, with that being said, that obviously means no physical contact. So let's see what abilities Cloverfield can or cannot use in terms of far range. Remember, there is no physical contact, and sometimes there are opponents who cannot use anything. So, long arms, physical attacks, thick skin. Absolutely no abilities that can be used for far range. Almost all of these actually, not even almost, all of these require some sort of physical contact to the opponent. So he can only defend himself in far range. He cannot attack with, and then it's with the long arms basically, and the thick skin. He can only defend himself. Now, let's go to Gamera. Shell hovering. He can obviously use that if he wants to fly around, but he cannot come close and hit the opponent with that. There is absolutely no physical contact. Fire breath, or we can even call it the plasma breath, can be used. It's meant to go far distances, so yes, that is absolutely okay. Super strength, no, this is more of a physical ability, physical contact, so that's actually not going to be used, or can't be used. So that's a big no. Telepathy, sure, telepathy doesn't matter. So basically, he can use the fire breath. So Gamera has an ability to use in far range, where Cloverfield actually does not. So that is a big red flag for Cloverfield. So going into this battle in sense of reality, Cloverfield has nothing to offer, and Gamera can easily just use the fire breath and eventually tear that skin apart of Cloverfield and completely damage him and hurt him in almost every way possible. So I personally don't see Cloverfield winning the battle in far range just because of the fire breath. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, there's honestly nothing. I was gonna say maybe if there's a way that Cloverfield can use something to throw at him, potentially, right? Potentially. But with that being said, that's not even guaranteed, because he has the shell, and with the shell, he can obviously protect himself. So I don't see anything happening here. I obviously see Gamera winning this. You could obviously remember, this is a debate video. I'm giving my opinion. You can debate me in the comment section below. That's the whole point. But personally, I see Cloverfield having absolutely no chance against Gamera in far range. With the fire breath, that is enough to destroy Cloverfield. Now, when we go to close range, this is a whole different ballgame. But before we do go, just to finalize the score at the moment, it is 1-0 in favor of Gamera for far range. Let's go to close range. Now, the height of Gamera is 80 meters. This is a big one. The height of Cloverfield is 91 meters, so it's not too much of a difference, but there definitely is a little bit of difference between the two. And obviously, height and size do definitely matter in the battle. So going face to face and ramming into each other, obviously they're going to run and they're going to hit each other. I personally see Cloverfield being able to take down Gamera. Cloverfield, it just has longer arms, just has a bigger mass than him, is taller than Gamera. Although Gamera does have the shell and he is a pretty fast turtle, overall the mass quantity is higher on the side of Cloverfield. So personally, when they're fighting face to face, it's going to be pretty easy for Cloverfield to take him down. Now, when he does take Gamera down, remember, Gamera's shell is definitely powerful, but not on the side where he's facing on his bottom, where his stomach is, not the back. The stomach portion is weak, and Cloverfield can easily rip into the shell and then rip into the flesh of Gamera. We've seen it happen to Gamera before in his films. So definitely Cloverfield can do the same with his hands. Can thrust into the body of Gamera and just rip into his flesh and stab him with his hands. Or even with his feet. And with the physical attack, just keep on banging and banging and banging on him. But remember, Gamera definitely still is not an easy opponent to kill. Absolutely not. And he has the fire breath. The fire breath is absolutely incredible. He's gonna use that, I know for sure, when he's on the bottom and Cloverfield is on top of him. And then all Gamera needs to do is grab a hold of Cloverfield and then absolutely just use a shell hovering ability, go all the way up to space, or even not even space, go all the way up to the ozone layer, and then just drop Cloverfield to the ground, and Cloverfield is absolutely annihilated. So again, Gamera will win in terms of close range. So it's going to be 2-0 in favor of Gamera. This is just my opinion. You could debate me in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and a wonderful day.